Welcome to your favorite unscripted retrospective series. Today we are reviewing the last game in the series, WWE 2K25. Now we have reached the end of the current series, but let's have a look at what 2K25 has to offer in comparison to the previous 2K games. Let's get into it. Welcome to Perth, Australia. We are here in an Elimination Chamber match, and we have put in main event Jey Uso in the main event. Well, in the main event, yeah, sure, why not? But he's facing William Regal alongside his brother Jimmy Uso in the background. You can also see Demon Finn Balor alongside Big Bronson Reed. And a last person that I cannot remember. Let's pan the camera over. Who did I? There's Bronson Reed and Ken Shamrock was the last entrant. So this being 2K25, you'll obviously realize off rip that this looks so similar to 2K24, and that's totally fine. As Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man, enters the ring here, you know. Never really been a big fan of the red, I'm being honest, right? I've always liked the blue. I think in SmackDown 1 he had the blue, and I don't know, I just always vibe with the blue. The red didn't really fit him that well. I just like blue, what can I say? But this isn't really new for this game. I think there was a previous 2K game that showcased it better, but you previously had the option to do the round Elimination Chamber that was from, you know, Survivor Series, whatever year that was, 2002, and it then changed to this kind of rectangular modern option. Fun fact, if you didn't know, the reason that they had to change the cage was because many buildings around the country could not hold the weight of the steel chamber. Apparently the old steel chamber was just far too heavy for many buildings, and they had to make it with lighter materials. So that's why the floor is now like wood and padding with a little bit of metal still there, and the chamber pods are much smaller. They're made of lighter materials, and the roof and the sides are almost entirely like kind of that plastic glass rather than that metal chain all the way around. So yeah, if you didn't know, that was the reason why it got changed, was because the buildings couldn't hold the weight of the massive metal chamber. And that's a very cool camera angle, but I would like to see the action, please. Thank you. Now, as a person who quite enjoys modding and 3D animation, I have been through the game files, and I do happen to know that they do still have the old chamber model in the game. Like, the old round metal Elimination Chamber is still very much in the game files. So there is technically an option to choose it. Like, if you go through the custom rules, there is an option to choose your cage style. However, it's really frustrating because the option's locked. And it's kind of the same with the steel cages as well. All the options for the steel cages, you know, if you want to do the blue bars, the black bars, or just like an older style cage mesh, like all those models are in the game, but I don't think you can select them in the custom options, and it's very annoying. So hopefully they can fix that in the future, because, you know, the models are there. They seem like they're all set up. They just have to be like added back into the game, like through the menus and stuff. The whole time I've been talking here, the action has been spilling out of the ring. Everyone now is entered the ring, Big Bronson Reed being the final entrant to enter this Elimination Chamber, and essentially now it's anyone's game. There have been no eliminations so far, as Ken Shamrock, massive elbow drop onto main event Jey Uso. So 2K25, I've been a little bit outspoken. You may have already seen my 6 months 2K25 review, which I'm very happy with the way that turned out, because I was very proud of the video that I made and I'm glad that you guys liked it. But yes, this is the most recent 2K25, and I was quite outspoken by basically saying, like, yes, there are still lots of problems, especially towards like monetization and stuff, but I do think 2K25 is definitely a step in the right direction. I think that they're really onto something with this game now, and it's a shame it's taken this long to get here. The main vibe that I was giving off during my review was that 2K15, when Visual Concepts took over the series with 2K15, they essentially, I don't want to say ruined it, but they just took out so many features and so many options in the game to simplify it down so that they can sell you a new kind of package. And we're finally back, 10 years later, we're finally back to where we were 10 years ago in terms of gameplay. And what I mean by that is, like, we have sped up gameplay, we have really fun game mechanics, we have options, we have really good match types. We don't have everything, don't get me wrong, we don't have everything, but the gameplay is just like crazy fun. I mean, the fact that Bronson Reed was able to hit a massive splash off the top of the chamber pod there to the outside Regal. He didn't get the pin, sadly, but that's not the point. The fact that you can even do that is very cool. Oh my god, they're all yeeting. Oh, ignore the fact that my light just went out. That never happened. Ignore that. But just generally speaking, I think the game is fun. The AI is fairly smart for the most part. Graphically, they've nailed it, right? I mean, graphics-wise, this game just looks insane. I don't know who's getting pinned. Who's getting pinned? Jay's pinning Regal, but it's not enough. I guess if you want to see more structured thoughts, then you may want to watch that 6-month review. But for the time being, this is usually just like a bit of a ramble. Bronson Reed with the tsunami on Jimmy Uso, I should say, sorry. But he didn't go for the pin, weirdly enough. I would have thought he'd actually had that pin there. Shamrock with the ankle lock on Balor, and Balor able to spin out of it. I mean, there's no rope breaks in a match like this, so he could have tapped out. I guess I should talk a little bit about the gameplay, right? So you still, oh my god, Jimmy with the spear that didn't quite hit, which is very on track for those two, to be honest. Regal with the roll up, nope. Yeah, as I was saying, so you still have, I'm going to use Xbox controls here, but you still have X to do your regular strikes, A for heavy strikes, and you can do mixes of both to do different combination attacks, and depending on what combination you do depends on, like, changes the move essentially. 1, 2, no, Bronson Reed kicking out of that one. B is your kind of grapple and Irish whip button, and I can't remember what Y does. Does it do anything? Can't remember. Oh, Y is your reversal button, of course. So whenever somebody's doing a move to you, you'll have a Y button appear above your head, and that will give you the option to counter or reverse the move. Saying that though, Regal here with the dirty pin, not enough to get the pin on off Jay, but that's okay. There's so many gameplay systems at play, and I don't think people actually realize. I don't know why Ken Shamrock seems to be bugged outside the ring, but I don't think people realize like how many systems are at play here. Like, if you look at Regal, like I just saw him when he pulled off his finisher there, his back and his front are all kinds of messed up. They're all bruised and scratched, as Jey Uso has been eliminated from the match here. You also see as well bruising and scratches on him. Same with the blood mechanics in this game. There's actually different states of blood, so you can just have like a regular cut above your head or on your head, and then as the match progresses it will drip down the body, and then eventually, if enough head damage is done, it will start dripping on the ring mat, and even outside of the ring as well. So it can go onto like the turnbuckle pads, or it can go into the mats, or whatever it may be. Jimmy Uso also being eliminated here as he leaves the chamber. If we're talking about Finn Balor here as well, Finn Balor also has that body paint. The more he wrestles, that paint will chip and eventually fade away. You kind of saw it there as he was being pinned by Bronson. There's also like the sweat mechanics at play as well, so there's even like kind of this specular shine, as it were, as the match continues on top of that. And then there's like particle systems as well, because when you are hitting the opponent, you'll see little bits of sweat and spit coming off of them. There's also things like blood splatters, and there's also the sound mechanics as well. There's this whole sound system with the crowd chanting and interacting with what you're doing. I don't particularly think the crowd system's very good anymore, but I still have to appreciate the fact that it is there. It has lots of different chants, and yeah, there's just lots of interactions that can be done alongside the commentary systems. Probably one of the best they've ever had. The commentary system is still very outdated with the fact that it has Byron Saxton in there, but that's okay. It's still very good quality, even if it is like horrendously out of date. Oh, and Ken Shamrock being dropped outside of the ring there. There's also this whole physics system as well. Like, there's physics systems to the hair. I think the hair has actually been upgraded this year to be a lot more realistic. It interacts with like the ring mat and the flooring outside the ring. The ropes and the turnbuckles are also all interactive. So like when there's a big move, the ropes will bounce. If there's moves against the ropes, they will bounce. The ring skirts will move sometimes as well. I don't know what would kind of trigger that, but yeah, there's like moves like that. You can break the chamber pods as well. You can go for the glass. Like, there's just all these like insane game systems. I was just ranting off game systems there, but I don't think people realize like how much actually goes into these games every single year and like the amount of game systems that are running here. But I'm gonna get off my high horse here because Bronson Reed, has won the Elimination Chamber. Of course, the hometown hero here, Bronson Reed, getting the win. Of course, here are the highlights. We don't need to watch the highlights. You've already watched the match. I was ranting over most of it. Although we'll watch this again. Ken Shamrock getting absolutely dumped on the top of his head. And then the pinfall combination taking Shamrock out of the game. Congratulations to Bronson Reed. Big Bronson Reed picking up the hometown win here in the Elimination Chamber. But that's not it for the video. Let's dive into some of the game modes available in 2K25. So the main menu does actually look different this year. There is the home area, which is where all your play modes are. So we have the option of exhibition with a whole bunch of match types here. We have normal, tag team, extreme rules. All these are all the gimmicks essentially, but when you go into them, you have the option then to do all the different up to 8-man types matches. And even if there are 8-man, you could do 4-on-4, which is actually really cool. There is 3-on-3, 2-on-2, tornado tag as well, so 3 teams of 2. And there's also 4 teams of 2. So you can do a, TLC tag, like the kind of Hardys and all that. You can do that here in this game, which is very, very cool. You also have My Rise. My Rise is the main storyline this year. I haven't actually finished it, I'll be honest. But basically, you take your independent character all the way from, like, it depends. It can either be the UK, Japan, or Mexico, and they get signed to the WWE, and you can choose how they kind of play through the storyline. And the whole thing this year is about NXT mutinies. NXT is taking over the main brand of WWE. CM Punk's obviously a big part of that storyline, which is why he's the icon there. But yeah, it has so many branching storylines, so many different options. For example, you move into like an NXT style war games where you get to take your team against NXT Mutiny, and you get to choose your team. So you have to do all these side missions to determine who your team's going to be, and that can change dramatically from game to game or from mode to mode. And yeah, there's lots of different options you can get to. So yeah, there's also the showcase mode. The showcase mode this year is the Bloodline edition, I guess. So this is about the Samoan dynasty as it was. It's a big wrestling family, obviously headlined at the moment by Roman Reigns, but it's a family that includes all of the above here. It includes the Usos, Rikishi, Umaga, Yokozuna. And yeah, just you get to play through a whole bunch of matches, a couple what if scenarios as well, which is very, very cool. My faction is kind of the bane of my existence at this point. It is a grindy it's not even multiplayer, it's single player for the most part, but it's just monetized the high hell. And if you've played any other game, if you've played Fortnite, if you've played FIFA Ultimate Team, you know exactly what you're in for here. This is the mode that monetizes everything. So this is the moneymaker for the game, and ultimately it's harming the game in ways I can't really describe, but it's also really beneficial for the game because it's helping the game get bigger budgets, because it's the moneymaker, you know, it's how they make money post-release. So even though I don't agree with it, I can fully understand why it's in the game. You also have the universe mode returning, where you have more customization than ever. You can have multi-day PLEs, you can have multiple events happening on the same day. You can remove shows from the calendar for like one specific day. They have basically completely overhauled the universe system this year, and although it does play very similar to the previous years, it feels a lot more kind of robust this year. So I'm hoping this is a great version of it, and I'm hoping next year we can move forward to have like some crazy additions. And my GM returns as well with some quality of life features that I think a lot of the fans really liked, in terms of increasing the budgets, having more morale-based events play out, having more cross-branded PLEs as well, so that you can have more interaction between the brands. and having the whole roster available at the beginning draft so that you're not kind of locking certain characters out, or you know, if you never got Cody Rhodes before, you'll definitely get them now. I personally don't like the MyGM mode. I prefer the older style general manager modes from SmackDown vs. Raw, but a lot of people really like the kind of arcade style MyGM, and that's perfectly fine. I personally don't like it. You also have the Creation Suite. Now, the Creation Suite is something that 2K has struggled with for a very long time because it works. There's a lot of things in there, but the stability of it is very questionable. It doesn't run particularly well, and it struggles. Every single patch that goes out tends to break something in the Creation Suite. I should say. You have the option here to create custom crowd signs, videos, custom images for your attires. You can create a custom show and arena. I really don't like some aspects of this. You know, I absolutely love creating arena. Creating arena is the one thing that I love to do the most, but it's far too buggy and they never add anything to it, so I kind of don't really see the point in it anymore. And then even if you do create an arena, you can't actually use it in exhibition or any of the game modes unless you create a show, and it's just like these two are at odds. I understand why you need a show, because the game system is built around like the shows and have the graphics and stuff, but having when I create the arena, why do I need to create a show? And then it's very frustrating. And then when you try and download them off the community creations as well, you then have to like go between the show and the arenas, and it's just messy. It's very, very messy. There is your typical online mode as well. I can't actually show you the online mode. I think it's actually off for maintenance at the moment, so I can't actually show you, but you can absolutely do most of the match types on the line. I think pretty much every single match type is available online with multiple people, so you can play up to 8. I think even more if you do like a Royal Rumble. I'm not really sure. There's also leaderboards if that's your kind of thing, and you can do some settings, and community creations is where most people go to get their online creations such as wrestlers, arenas, shows, and all the rest of it. And then the next tab over is kind of your options, and there isn't really anything crazy here, but you can choose your different kind of soundtrack in the back. You can look for DLC if you want to go to the store. In fact, there is the in-game store as well. I never really look at this, but there is that's very broken. It's not working, but basically when you do anything in the game, you earn these WWE tokens, and then these tokens can be used to unlock superstars, arenas, and championships, and that's essentially the progression in the game. That is how you're supposed to do it, but basically any DLC has the supercharger in it. I think it's a supercharger, I don't know, but it's accelerator. It's had multiple names over the years, and it essentially allows you to skip over everything in the game. In terms of purchasables, you can unlock everything immediately if you are willing to pay just an extra couple pounds, and you'll have everything available immediately instead of having to grind everything out all the time. And I think this is maybe the difference between like the older SmackDown vs. Raw games and this game, where you think back to like SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, you would have like the challenge mode. You would have these like awesome abilities you would have this awesome ability to look for a list of challenges where you can complete individual challenges per match, and you can maybe do like something specifically on a legend difficulty, so you can take like Rey Mysterio against Andre the Giant, or maybe Rhea Ripley against Andre the Giant, or some just crazy like challenge, but you can only do it in legend mode, and then you would get like a set amount of dollars, or in this case WWE points, and then you can use those points to unlock things in the game. And I just think that's something that kind of needs to come back. Like, I appreciate that I can pretty much do anything I want. If I can play matches in universe mode, I can play matches in MyGM, I can play matches in the play exhibition mode, and I'll earn WWE tokens to then use as purchasables, and then I can, you know, basically unlock everything I want to unlock. But give me a reason to play the game. I need a reason to play the game. You can absolutely play a game because it's fun, but a challenge mode will just help me play the game focused more, because basically completing the challenge mode will just give me enough tokens to unlock everything anyway. So like, give me the challenge mode. I don't know, I'll get off my horse, I'll stop ranting about it, but it's just one of those things that kind of I think about it quite often. This is a brand new game option here in 2K25. This is the Underground match. One of 2 new game matches they added in 2K25, I think. I am using the Boneyard Undertaker and the Kane 03 from the My Faction DLC. Now, I just realized that Kane's boots look really weird. Is that what Kane's boots looked like back then? They did not look like that. And what's really cool about the underground match is it has no ropes, which allows you to do really cool shit like that. So Kane throwing the Undertaker out of the ring, this game's insane. I really like the underground match. It's very different from what your usual kind of match plays out like. So weirdly enough, there is disqualifications in the underground match. I don't think there are DQs in the real underground match, but it feels like a match that would benefit from being no DQ. But basically, yeah, there is this fight pit environment, right? So you have this area outside of the ring that you can fight in. There are people around the ring who are spectators, and they will kind of hit the ring, kind of like a boxing style match. And then there are no ropes, which is probably the biggest change, right? That's the biggest change to the way that you get around the ring. So you can't go up top rope, you can't use the ropes for any kind of rebound, but obviously you can't fight anywhere in the area. You can fight in, well, this arena doesn't support it, but you can fight into the crowd. You can fight up the stage if you really wanted to, and you can absolutely use the ring to your advantage in several different ways. For example, if you were to throw your opponent into the corner post from inside of the ring, you can actually throw them out of the ring and they will hit the post on the way out. You can't get this, the spectators don't interact at all. They can't actually get involved in the match. You can't hit them, you can't push them or do anything cool like that. But they are there just for the visual aesthetic, I should say. If you have PC mods as well, you can actually customize who is outside of the ring. So if you did want to do kind of a lumberjack style match for your universe mode or for your custom pay-per-views and stuff, then you could have technically a lumberjack style match, which could look pretty cool visually. As far as I'm aware, for the underground match as well, there are no pinfalls. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the aim of the match is to win by knockout, or at the very least, that's how most of these matches end anyway. If you get the opponent's health into the lower red stages, which is potentially where the Undertaker's about to be, oh, never mind, he reversed that. Then you will get into what's called the danger state. So the health bar on the bottom left there for the Undertaker will change. It will change to say danger and it will flash red. And essentially from that point on, any major move will take the Undertaker out. So that could either be a finisher, it could be a signature, but it could even just be a major grapple. Talking of major grapples though, Undertaker going for that last ride as a last ditch attempt at getting some pressure on Kane, but Kane seeing that coming from a mile away. Saying that again, you do have talking of kind of the way this match plays out, they are going to try and knock each other out. Submissions are also an option, so you can absolutely do submissions to end the match. I just don't think that pinfalls are an option. As far as I can remember, they may well be. I've just forgotten. Oh, and that big boot busts Kane open. Also, with these really nifty camera angles, I love playing the game with the camera angles, but I know a lot of people kind of don't like them. But I think it offers a really unique way to look at the venue, and I think the ECW One Night Stand venue is another great, just unique looking venue for like an underground match. Undertaker though, being hit with that signature, you'll see how his health bar has changed now to say danger. That puts him into the danger state, which means now there are so many options here. That was a very unique way of getting that last raid, but there we are, the last raid taking the Undertaker out. That was actually a very one-sided fight there, but yeah, the Undertaker getting absolutely wrecked. For some reason the spectators don't load in the replays. That's probably a bug. So yeah, Kane did the signature, which then put the Undertaker in the danger status. He then did the longest way of getting a last raid in, which then knocked out the Undertaker and got the win. Congratulations to the Demon, the Big Red Machine, Kane, on his victory here against the Undertaker in an underground match. But that's not the only addition to... What the fuck is he doing? That is not the only addition to 2K25. There is also the Bloodline Rules match. With the addition of the Bloodline Rules match, we are going to recreate the main event of WrestleMania 40. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, going up against the true tribal chief, or the tribal chief. I guess he wasn't able to see at this point. Doesn't really matter. But at this point, I guess Roman would be the longest reigning WWE champion for a long time. I don't know, he held that belt for like 3 years. It was pretty crazy. And the aim of the Bloodline Rules match is to, it's a regular no DQ match, to be honest. The difference being that they, instead of having their regular payback abilities, their payback ability would be something like, I don't know, I never use them. It could be like getting an instant finisher or something. I never really use them, to be honest. But they are replaced in the Bloodline Rules match for the Bloodline Payback, I guess. And that allows you to call a friend to the ring. So you'll see here, I've also changed the camera angle to point towards the stage so that when the payback is triggered, you will see somebody running down to the ring. So, for example, I assume, it is randomly chosen to be fair, but I assume it's based on the allies. So Roman should have, oh no, Cody going for that Hurricane Rana, but oh man, Roman reversing that into a massive powerbomb off the top rope, which looks cool as hell. Yeah, it's based on allies, I think, so Roman should really have the Usos come out to help during this match, and likewise Cody should probably have his, I don't know, I don't know who his friends are. It should be it's usually his dad. It's usually his dad comes out, Dusty Rhodes, of course. So the story of this match is sent, oh, never mind, pedigree to Roman Reigns. And going for that pinfall is probably not going to be enough. I'd be really disappointed if it was, because then I don't, there we are. The Rock is entering the match. I was actually just about to explain the story of this match. The story being, oh, crossroads to Roman Reigns, but The Rock is in the ring to break that one up. On night 1 of WrestleMania, there was a tag team match between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns and The Rock, and the winner would determine the kind of cause or the clause for the WrestleMania 40 main event on night 2. So, Roman actually won that tag team match, or rather The Rock won that tag team match, meaning that the night 2 main event became a Bloodline Rules match. If Cody had won, then it would mean that there would be no interference at all in the night 2 main event, but that isn't quite what happened. So what this means now is that The Rock enters the match full time. Like, he's in this match now all the time, and he's going to constantly interrupt. He's constantly going to fight. And basically the two of these guys, Roman and Rock, are just going to absolutely nail Cody in every way possible. And Cody can even the odds. He certainly can call someone out when he gets a chance, but you need to have the payback. You need to have the bar filled enough to do it. But Cody's really going to have to even the odds soon enough, because basically when somebody comes out for Cody's side, when he's able to even the odds, then, oh, there he is. Oh, it's his dad is getting fucking little monkey. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, so you see there Rock and Dusty just immediately going for each other, fighting in the corner there. That's what you need to do. You have to do that, because The Rock was never going to leave Cody alone. And by evening the odds, by getting Dusty out here, that meant that Rock is now preoccupied, and they are going to keep fighting. They are going to constantly fight each other outside of the ring. It's going to get real messy shortly. While they were fighting there, while I was talking, Roman actually nailed Cody outside the ring and busted him wide open. So Cody's now bleeding as well. So I might get to see some of that blood mechanics in play here in this match. We saw a little bit with it in the opening match, because I think Bronson Reed or somebody got knocked out or got bloodied. But we got candlesticks in play now. Candlesticks are violent here. Oh, come on, that would be so lame. Please don't let the match end like that. 1, 2, okay, thank goodness. That would be very disappointing if it just ended with a random candlestick strike, especially when we've only had 1 interference, and you can have a maximum of 3, so you can have up to 3 people fighting on your behalf outside of the ring. We're not seeing, oh, there we are. I was going to say we're not seeing much, but Cody calling out Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn coming out to even the odds. He could potentially save. Oh, he just saves Cody. I mean, Cody might have actually kicked out of that, to be honest, but I think Sami just in time coming out. But that the action's now spilled back into the ring. So Dusty Rhodes coming in to attack Roman, but it's backfiring there. Massive Superman punch to Cody. Dusty's down. Cody's down. Roman could potentially go for the pin, but he doesn't. And evening the odds with Solo Sikoa. So Solo Sikoa at this point still aligned with Roman Reigns. Oh, never mind. No, he isn't. That was actually Cody's I was completely mistaken. The Samoan spike taking Roman down. So that was actually Cody's. I did not realize that that would be the case, but that is Cody's third call out. Oh, Dusty Rhodes is on one man and Roman attacks him with a spear. This game's insane. That was actually really cool. Oh, Roman has another entrant coming out. Jey Uso, as he just kicked out of the Crossroads. And the action again spilling all over the place. Oh, Cody getting nailed with a spear by Jey Uso and a ball, prime ball being launched at Jey there by Sami Zayn, of course. So I think Roman still has one more person to call out. I was very flummoxed there by Solo Sikoa. That was my bad. But you can see how these matches get insanely chaotic, right? They are, oh man, huge brainbuster from Cody. I was having a right moment there. But yeah, these matches get really hectic and it can get very kind of if you're playing the match, it can get really kind of hard to keep track of who's doing what and where and how, and like there's weapons involved and there's just people, and the AI is ramped right up in these matches as well. Like the guys fighting on the outside are just trying to kill each other constantly. They're constantly fighting each other, and occasionally the action will spill into the ring. You know, one little thing as well I forgot to mention is that the LED around the ring, so like the corner post and the board in the ring side there, if you throw your opponent into it, it can break, which is kind of what we saw there in that corner post. That left corner post is now broken because somebody got thrown into it. And there is Roman's final entrant. That is Jimmy Uso. So now the Bloodline Rules stipulation is now done for, essentially, although that spear could be enough actually. Although Sami looks like he's probably going to stop Roman from going for the pin if he can. Oh, he might be animation locked. Oh, Sami breaking up the pin, which is probably a good shout, to be honest, because Cody is not looking too hot. Oh, Sami with the Helluva Kick taking Roman down. Can Jimmy break up the pinfall? He can't, with a rock bottom, and Sami Zayn winning the match for Cody, and Roman pulling an Austin Aries and winning and leaving the ring immediately. What a match. I really appreciate the chaoticness of these Bloodline Rules matches. They are just insane, if I'm being honest. All the entrants coming in and all the kind of fighting, the infighting that happens, and then the weapons getting involved, and then you never really know who's got finishers and who's doing what, and it's just the craziest time. Congratulations to Cody Rhodes for finishing his story. He's held up by his daddy, Dusty Rhodes. Sami Zayn winning the match essentially for Cody with that Helluva Kick, and Solo Sikoa finding another reason to screw over the tribal chief Roman Reigns. What a match. Congratulations to the Nightmare family for winning WrestleMania 40. And that's going to be us for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed 2K25 as much as I did. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing, as it does help the channel grow. With that being said, that is us for today. We'll be back next week for a different style video, because 2K25 is the last of the series. But that's us for today. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.